Hello and welcome to UC Today. I'm Senior Editor Tom Wright and I'm delighted to be joined by Kieran from NEC Enterprise Solutions. How's it going, Kieran?
Yeah, good. Thank you, Tom. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. It's great to have you. I'm going to be
Good.
talking about SMS today, and I think I'm right in saying you're seeing a big demand for, or an increase in demand for SMS engagement between customers and businesses. I wonder if you can just kind of talk through what's driving that at the moment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think ultimately SMS is a tether-free, low-cost method for customer and company engagement, basically. So as we know, voice queuing can result in holding times, even in efficiently deployed contact centers. And queuing time ultimately leads to frustration and also the fact that customers are being tied to a device. There was recently a study that actually found that 81% of people find it really frustrating being tied to a phone or a laptop for a customer service type inquiry. So, it's a potential risk to losing a customer if they are getting to that point of frustration. So, SMS really allows a tether-free dialogue between that customer and agent, and that agent, from a company perspective, they can still continue with other media in the contact center. So, the voice, the web chat, the email, and of course the SMS. And obviously, that's also then going to obviously increase that agent's efficiency as well. What we're also finding with SMS is the outbound capability as well. So whether it's a personal SMS to somebody or a campaign style message, SMS has an open rate of 98%. And when you compare that to email of just 20%, that's an absolute vast open rate, really. It's incredible when you think about it. And so one example around that would be, imagine if your dentist couldn't use SMS as a way of confirming or reminding you of an appointment or, such events. The healthcare industry is really pioneering the use of SMS and doing it incredibly efficiently. And we'd be stuffed without it. We genuinely would be. We've all had those SMS reminders that our appointment's tomorrow at 10 o'clock and we've completely forgot about it. So yeah, that in a nutshell, that's effectively how we're seeing this increase in SMS across various different verticals in the market.
Yeah, and you picked out some really useful examples there that I think will resonate with kind of everyone watching. But I wonder if you could just go into a bit more detail about some of the real benefits to a business once they've kind of got this sort of SMS engine up and running.
Yeah, sure. So I think ultimately customer satisfaction, that's the biggest thing that I am seeing from a company perspective at the moment is how can they drive that customer satisfaction upwards. Again, to quote some statistics, 63% of customers prefer a business to use SMS as a form of communication. And we can guarantee that a lot of businesses aren't utilizing that at the moment. It's an incredibly powerful means of communication, and it's something that's very simple to deploy and also utilize as well. So customer satisfaction, first and foremost, is key for that. So we also found from a recent study as well that 89% of people would actually leave a company if they experienced a really low quality of customer service. So, giving you an example really of the benefits that it would bring, imagine how great it would be. Let's say you've just placed an order with Sky TV, and you wanted to be able to send an SMS message to Sky checking where your recently ordered place basically was, rather than having to dial in, wait in a queue for, we've all been there, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes trying to wait for an agent, but also being able to do that in such a way that you can still continue with your normal daily activities. You send a text in, you get a text back, you reply to it. Everything else in between you can continue with as normal. So obviously that's from an inbound perspective. From an outbound perspective, a company never needs to miss a lead or even a mobile-based call to them again. So as an example, Univerge Blue Engage from NEC allows any mobile abandoned voice call to have an automated SMS message sent to them. And that message can invoke a callback, which can obviously be really pushed up the priority list towards the agent and invoked immediately, or it can actually be used to start an SMS dialogue between that customer and the agent. So, traditionally, somebody would abandon a call in queue. You'd be then relying upon, call reporting to then go through that at the end of the day and try and call them back. Whereas now, you can be incredibly reactive to that, where they dialed in via voice, got a little bit fed up of waiting, again, even in a very efficient contact center, and we can instantly react to that. And again, we can initiate a voice call to them or start an SMS dialogue to them as well. And that really just centers around that whole customer satisfaction side.
And I just want to pick up on a couple of points from earlier in the conversation. You mentioned the example that we've probably all seen where you get a reminder of an appointment, but just then you were talking about kind of the other side of the two-way communication. So I wonder if you could just explain a bit more about the dynamic between both sort of inbound and outbound when this is kind of set up properly and working.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll use some examples from my experience with sort of customer deployments, really. So we've already touched upon it, but healthcare, again, as an industry, is massively utilizing SMS, and the way they're doing it is phenomenal. So, from an SMS perspective, it is very crucial for healthcare, as we know. Now, inbound messages can be used to confirm or cancel appointments. Outbound messages can obviously also be used as appointment reminders. And the admin resources saved there are massively substantial to that healthcare organisation. Education is another example. This is something, or an industry or a vertical, that I'm really seeing a massive uptake in SMS actually. So, it's thriving from an inbound perspective. Parents no longer have to be tethered to the phone in the morning because their child's sick, waiting to get through to the school office. They can simply just send a text message. Their child's off ill. This is the reason why. We hope they're going to be back tomorrow. That can be picked up by the back office staff and dealt with accordingly. But from an outbound perspective, schools can also utilize SMS, again, for personal messages to parents maybe. Your child's left their coat, we'll make sure they have it in the morning, or giving sort of broadcast messages, campaign messages to every parent within the school, informing them of a school closure, maybe the heating's broken, or upcoming trips or other events. So basically a way of providing instant notifications to parents of any information that basically needs to be put across to them.
Yes, I think it's fair to say the benefits are clear. So let's think about a business now that's looking to get started with this. What obstacles are they likely to face, and how are you at NEC Enterprise Solutions helping them navigate these obstacles?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So to sort of answer the first part of that, from an obstacles perspective, I guess it really depends on the company or the provider that business is looking to invoke this SMS with. Now, that vendor, they may not do SMS, they may not do it well, which can, of course, present obstacles. Now, onto the second part of that question, how do we help businesses achieve that? Well, Univerge Blue from NEC makes SMS incredibly simple. It's very easy to deploy. It's very cost effective for both the partner and also, the customer themselves that are utilizing this, and obviously their agents. What we also have within our application, which is called Connect, is what we call our single pane of glass. So every element of our platform is contained within a single application, whether that's messaging, presence, call history, meetings, file sharing, but also the agent experience as well. It's all contained within the one application. And that basically allows us to simplify that media blending. So not just SMS, but of course voice, web chat, email. The agent, obviously their efficiency goes through the roof because they can be taking a voice call, but within the same application, they're also handling a text message. We can obviously give predefined messages with that. We can give classifications. So we can classify those calls, whether they're voice and obviously SMS, for example. So of course the company in question can then report on that as well. And of course, we give full transcription capability. So from an SMS perspective, we'll give a full transcription history available, which can be downloaded. Of course, it can also be evaluated as well to grade the performance of that agent. But we can also do inbound capabilities as well. So Univerge Blue Engage will allow you to flexibly route SMSs based upon a number of criteria. We can start doing data dips based on the number that's coming in. If it's known to us within a CRM, we can route them straight into a particular team, for example. So we can very much automate the routing of SMSs. And when they get to an agent, we can obviously make it a very simple process for that agent to have that dialogue with the customer. And then obviously from an outbound perspective, we can personalize messages to individuals, but we can also do campaigns or broadcasts as well. That's a very simple wizard process that can be done manually, or it's something that can be invoked from a CRM or a well-known business application. So it can be triggered by that, hit our dynamic notification feature, and start collating and then broadcasting SMS messages to the masses. And with that, you get dashboard capability as well. So you get a full insight into the status of those campaigns. So ultimately, we have a very, very in-depth and capable SMS suite that's available on NEC's Universe Blue Engage, and that's effectively the way that we're helping businesses achieve that.
Well, look, Kieran, it's been great talking to you, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this trend kind of continues to evolve over the rest of this year and beyond.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and a share on social media, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.